Are you tired of feeling empty when you're alone? Do you ever wonder why being by yourself feels so heavy, like something's missing? What if I told you that solitude isn't a weakness? It's actually a hidden strength. And what if your happiest moments could come not from the world, but from walking with Allah? Not the kind of happiness that comes from friends, followers, or fame, but the deep, peaceful, and lasting happiness that only comes when your heart is connected to Allah. This is your journey to emotional peace, self-worth, and a heart that no longer depends on people, but relies only on Allah. Being alone in Islam is not the same as being abandoned or forgotten. It does not mean that you are broken or worthless. In fact, it often means that Allah is giving you a chance to return to Him fully without distractions. In the eyes of the world, being alone might seem like a punishment, but in the eyes of Allah, it could be a hidden mercy, a time of personal growth, and a path to deep spiritual strength. Islam teaches us that there is power in being alone, especially when your heart is connected to your Creator. In today's world, we are constantly told that happiness comes from being surrounded by people, from being praised and loved by others, or from being popular. The idea of being alone makes many people feel afraid. It creates a fear of not being accepted, a fear of being left behind. But Islam turns that idea upside down. Islam teaches that if you are alone, but your heart is filled with remembrance of Allah, then you are in the best company. The quietness of solitude can become a time of connection, healing, and strength. When you are alone, you begin to hear your own thoughts. You start to see the truth more clearly. The noise of the world fades away and the whisper of your soul becomes louder. That is when you can begin to understand who you truly are and where your relationship with Allah stands. Being alone can become the doorway to knowing yourself better and becoming someone who lives with purpose and sincerity. It is often in these moments of loneliness that people start asking real questions. Why am I here? What is my purpose? Who really understands me? These questions are not signs of weakness. They are signs that your heart is waking up and reaching out for something bigger. And that something bigger is not people, it is not social acceptance, it is not even comfort, it is Allah. When Allah makes you feel alone, He is often calling you closer to Him. He is inviting you to speak to Him, to seek Him, and to lean on Him like never before. The loneliness is not empty. It is full of meaning, full of opportunity. It is a sign that Allah wants your attention. He wants your heart to be filled with Him, not the temporary distractions of this world. The world tries to tell us that being alone is a weakness, but in Islam, walking alone with Allah is one of the strongest things you can do. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, spent long nights alone in worship. Many of the righteous people in Islamic history found their strength not in large crowds, but in quiet moments spent in remembrance of their Lord. True peace is not in the crowd. It is in the calm that comes from knowing that Allah is with you, watching you, and never turning away. You are never truly alone when you walk with Allah, even if there are no people around you. His angels are near, His mercy is close. His knowledge of your pain is perfect. Every tear, every silent prayer, every breath you take is seen and recorded by Him. So, when life gets lonely, remember that you are not abandoned. You are being invited to something greater. Let your loneliness become your prayer. Let your sadness turn into conversation with Allah. Let your heart soften with zikr, with remembering His names, and with reflecting on the blessings He still gives you, even when you feel alone. Being alone is not a dead end. It is a doorway to peace and power if you walk through it with trust in Allah. In life, many of us spend years running after the world. We think that if we just have more money, more followers, more attention, or more luxury, then we will finally feel happy. We tell ourselves, if I get that job, I'll be at peace. If I live in that house, I'll be complete. If I marry that person, life will be perfect. But this is one of the biggest illusions that the world tricks us with. The more we chase it, the more it runs away from us. The harder we try to catch it, the emptier we feel inside. The truth is, the world was never meant to satisfy the soul. The soul was made for something higher, something eternal, something divine. That something is Allah. When we chase the world, we lose our balance. We start comparing ourselves with others. We look at their cars, their clothes, their homes, and their lives. We forget what we already have. We stop seeing the blessings in our own hands. Our hearts start to crave what others have, even if we don't really need it. We become hungry for praise and desperate for attention. And no matter how much we get, it is never enough. There is always something more to chase. That is the nature of the world. It promises happiness, but delivers emptiness. Islam teaches us to be grateful, to be content, to be focused not on what we want, but on what we need to grow closer to Allah. When we run after the world, we are running away from our own peace. We are turning our backs on the one who controls the world. Allah gives and takes from whom He wills, and sometimes He takes the world from you, not to punish you, but to protect you from being lost in it. Think about a child who is chasing a butterfly. The more they run, the further the butterfly flies. But the moment they stop and stay still, the butterfly may land on their hand. This is how the world works too. When you run after it, it escapes you. When you stop and focus on Allah, it comes to you in the right time and in the right way. The world is a test. It is a place of temporary joys, quick pleasures, and fast moments. But nothing here lasts forever. Your car will rust. Your clothes will fade. Your friends will forget. Even your beauty will change. So why put your heart into something that is already leaving you? Why tie your soul to something that was never meant to stay? The companions of the Prophet, may Allah be pleased with them, were some of the strongest people to walk the earth. Yet they lived simple lives. They slept on the floor. They ate plain food. They didn't chase the world. They chased Jannah. They chased truth. They chased the pleasure of Allah. That is why their names are remembered. That is why their stories still guide us. You don't need to compete with the world. Compete with yourself. Become better in your prayer. Grow in your patience. Increase your gratitude. Be kind when no one is watching. Trust Allah when nothing makes sense. That's real success. That's real victory. So why chase what disappears when you can walk with the one who never leaves? Why beg from the world when Allah is the owner of all things? The world may reject you, ignore you, or forget you. But Allah never does. He sees your struggle. He hears your pain. He knows your heart. Leave the chase. Find the calm. Run to Allah. Because when you walk with Him, you no longer need to run after the world. It comes when He wills. And even if it doesn't, your heart will still be full of peace, full of light, full of Him. There is something very special about walking with Allah, quietly without needing the world to see it or celebrate it. It's not loud, it's not dramatic, but it is full of strength. It gives you a kind of peace that nothing else can give. You may not have big crowds around you, you may not have the world clapping for you, but if Allah is pleased with you, that is more than enough. The power of walking with Allah is not found in big speeches or long displays. It is found in your silent prayers, your sincere tears, your private thoughts that you whisper to Him when no one else is around. When you walk with Allah, you walk with confidence. Not the kind that comes from money or beauty or success, but the kind that comes from knowing your heart is clean and your purpose is clear. You are not walking to please people anymore. You are walking to seek the smile of Allah. You are not afraid of being misunderstood or left behind, because you know that the one who matters most is always with you. You feel His nearness in the stillness of the night. You feel His mercy in the middle of your pain. You feel His love when everyone else walks away. That is the quiet power of walking with Him. Sometimes we think power means being known, being praised, being followed. But in Islam, real power is being able to sleep peacefully at night, knowing you didn't hurt anyone, knowing your heart is clean, knowing that your Lord is happy with you. It's the strength to keep going when life is heavy. It's the strength to keep believing when the world keeps doubting you. It's the strength to forgive when you could take revenge, to be patient when you could complain, to stay humble when you could show off. All of that power comes from Allah. There are people in this world who have everything but they feel empty. They are surrounded by attention but their hearts are in pain. And there are others who live quietly, simply and humbly, but their hearts shine with light. That light comes from walking with Allah. The more you remember Him, the more He fills your heart with nur. The more you turn to Him, the more He strengthens you. The more you trust Him, the more you begin to see how everything you went through had a purpose. And when you understand that, you walk through life with peace, even in the middle of storms. There is a calmness that comes when you stop depending on the world and start depending only on Allah. You no longer fear losing people. You no longer fear what others think. You no longer need to explain yourself to anyone. Because your heart is at ease. You know that the one who made you, who tests you, who feeds you, and who guides you, is always with you. He sees the good you do in secret. He hears the du'as you whisper in frustration. He knows the battles you fight within. And He rewards all of it, even when the world sees nothing. You don't need to shout to the world that you walk with Allah. You don't need to prove anything. The quiet steps you take toward Him are louder than anything the world can offer. The world may forget you, but your quiet steps toward Allah are written forever. The world may overlook you, but the angels record every single time you chose His path over your desires. This is the power of walking with Allah. It's not loud, but it's life-changing. It's not famous, but it's eternal. It's not easy, but it's the most rewarding walk you will ever take. So walk quietly, but walk firmly. Don't look back. Don't look around. Just keep walking with your heart pointed to Him. Because when you walk with Allah, even if the road is long and lonely, you are always exactly where you are meant to be. Loneliness can feel like an empty space in your life. It can feel like silence that no one understands and darkness that no one sees. People may look at you and think you're fine, but inside, your heart may be tired, your soul may feel heavy, and your smile may be a mask hiding a deep sadness. But what if this loneliness, this silence, this pause in your life is not a curse, but a hidden gift from Allah? What if this moment of being alone is exactly what your soul needs to finally meet its Creator in a deeper, more meaningful way? In this life, we are often surrounded by noise. Social media, friends, family, work and responsibilities constantly pull us in different directions. Our hearts are always busy. Our minds are always rushing. And somewhere in all that noise, we forget who we are. We forget what matters. We forget Allah. But when we are left alone, something changes. The noise fades. The world slows down. The fake masks people wear disappear. And in that stillness, we begin to hear something we forgot. The voice of our heart calling us back to Allah. Loneliness gives you the chance to reset. It gives you the space to reflect. It opens the door to conversations you would never have had with Allah when life was moving fast. It teaches you how to depend on Him, not people. It teaches you that peace doesn't come from company. It comes from connection. It shows you that people might leave, but Allah never will. That's a powerful realization, one that can only happen when everything else is silent. Sometimes Allah removes people from your life to protect you. Sometimes He lets your phone go quiet so that you finally raise your hands in dawah. Sometimes He makes you sit alone so you can finally notice your soul. That is not punishment. That is love. That is mercy. That is Him saying, come back to me. You've been distracted long enough. We may hate loneliness, but often it is the very thing that saves us. It brings us back to our purpose. It reminds us of the eternal life after this one. It teaches us that the real goal is not to be popular or loved by many, but to be close to the one who made us. And when that closeness begins, your loneliness turns into light. It turns into calmness. It turns into a peaceful friendship between you and Allah that no one else can touch. It's easy to feel like you're the only one struggling, but know that the strongest hearts in the world were built in moments of isolation. They were shaped by nights of tears, by quiet prayers, by whispered du'as under the stars. Those moments become your strength. They become your hidden treasures. They are where your real story begins. Allah knows how heavy your heart feels. He knows how many nights you cried without telling anyone. He knows how tired your soul is. But He also knows what beautiful strength is growing inside you because of those quiet moments. Don't rush to end your loneliness. Embrace it. Use it. Let it make you better. Let it be your teacher, not your enemy. Loneliness is not always something to escape. Sometimes it's the pause you need to grow. It's the space your soul needs to breathe. And when you walk through it with your hand in Allah's, you will come out stronger, wiser, and closer to the one who has always loved you most. Being alone is not just a time to sit in sadness or feel forgotten. It is one of the most powerful moments you are given in life to rebuild yourself from the inside out. And the best way to do that is by strengthening your iman, your faith in Allah. When the world goes quiet, when the people are gone, when your phone doesn't ring, and when the house is still, those are the perfect moments to turn inward and feed your soul. That silence is not empty. It is filled with opportunities to become closer to your Creator in ways you never thought possible. Iman is not something you only show on the outside. It is something that grows in the dark, in the quiet, in the places where no one else can see you. It is in those lonely nights when you sit and talk to Allah, not because you have to, but because your heart is calling out. That is where the roots of your faith grow strong. Alone time can be the best time to build habits that help you grow closer to Allah. Start reading Quran, even if it's just a verse a day. Sit in silence and reflect on the meaning. Learn about the names of Allah and call Him by those names in your dua. Practice being grateful for what you have, no matter how small it is. These little acts, when done sincerely and regularly, can completely change your relationship with Allah. They build a foundation that will support you in the hardest times. When your iman is strong, you become unshakable, even when life tries to knock you down. There is something very beautiful about worshipping Allah when you are alone. It shows that your faith is not for show. It's not for likes or praise. It's real, it's private, it's personal. And that kind of worship is the most beloved to Allah because it comes from the heart. It comes from love, trust and surrender. And Allah never lets that go to waste. Every tear you cry for Him in secret, every quiet tasbih you whisper, every sincere dua you make alone, all of it is treasured. All of it is written. All of it is rewarded. This alone time is not forever. People will come back. Life will move again. But the iman you build now will remain. And when the noise returns, and the responsibilities pile up, and the distractions come back, it is your strong faith that will help you stay steady. It will guide you when things get confusing. It will protect your heart when temptations come. It will remind you who you are and who you belong to. That is the power of faith built in private. So use this time wisely. Build your connection with Allah. Strengthen your iman. Make your alone time sacred. Let it be the season of your life where your faith blooms quietly but powerfully. Because when you walk through loneliness with strong iman, you don't come out empty. You come out shining with purpose, with strength, and with the kind of peace that only Allah can give. One of the most beautiful and powerful things you can learn in this life is the ability to detach your heart from the things that are temporary, to stop holding on so tightly to people, to outcomes, to expectations, and to the world. Because the more you cling to this dunya, the more you will hurt. The more you expect from people, the more disappointed you will be. But the moment you start to let go and place your trust fully in Allah, you will feel a peace unlike anything else. That peace is real, it is deep, it is lasting, and it comes from detachment. Detachment does not mean you stop caring. It does not mean you stop loving or living. It simply means that you stop depending on things that were never meant to carry your soul. It means your heart becomes light, free from the chains of needing constant attention, approval, and control. You begin to understand that this world is just a station, not your final destination. Everything you love in this life is either going to leave you or you are going to leave it. So why should your happiness depend on something that is already leaving? When you detach, you begin to trust Allah more. You stop worrying so much. You stop feeling lost when plans fail. You stop blaming yourself when people change. You begin to walk through life with calmness because you know that what is meant for you will come and what is not meant for you will pass by, no matter how much you want it. That belief, that surrender gives you strength. It gives you peace. Many people today feel stressed and anxious because they are holding on too tightly. They want everything to go their way. They want people to act how they expect. They want life to always be fair and predictable. But life does not work that way. And the more you resist its nature, the more pain you create for yourself. But the moment you say, I leave it to Allah, your heart begins to breathe again. You stop carrying a weight you were never meant to carry. Think about how peaceful a bird is when it flies. It doesn't cling to the sky, it moves freely, lightly, without fear. That is how your soul becomes when you let go of your attachments and place your full trust in the one who controls everything. You are not afraid of loss anymore because you know that Allah is the source of everything. He can take and give as He wills. He never takes something except to replace it with something better, either in this life or the next. When you live with detachment, you can enjoy life without being a slave to it. You can love people without fearing their loss. You can work hard without becoming addicted to results. You can give without needing anything in return, because your heart is full. It is connected to the one who never changes, never leaves, and never disappoints. Let go. Let go of what is hurting you. Let go of what you are forcing. Let go of what is making you restless and turn to Allah with an open heart. Say to Him, Ya Allah, I trust you. I don't need to know the outcome. I just need to know that you are with me. And then watch how peace enters your life. Watch how your heart softens. Watch how your mind calms down. That is the gift of detachment. That is the power of surrender. So don't fear letting go. Fear being attached to something that pulls you away from Allah. Because everything you lose by walking toward Him is not a loss, it is a gain. Every person you release, every plan you surrender, every desire you give up for the sake of Allah, it all leads you to one thing, peace. And that peace is the most beautiful gift your soul will ever receive. Solitude can be heavy. When you are alone, time feels slower, the silence feels louder, and your thoughts become stronger. You may start thinking about everything you don't have, the people who left, the doors that closed, the dreams that didn't happen, and the comfort that seems far away. But this is exactly the moment when gratitude becomes your shield. In solitude, your heart is tested. Will you focus on what's missing, or will you choose to thank Allah for what remains? This choice changes everything. Gratitude in solitude is not just powerful, it is life-changing. Sometimes, being alone is the only time we notice the blessings we often ignore. The ability to breathe, the chance to pray, a roof over your head, food to eat, your ability to walk, see and speak. All of these are priceless gifts. We tend to forget how blessed we are until Allah puts us in a moment of silence and stillness. It is in these moments that you can sit and reflect on all the things you didn't earn but were given anyway. No matter how alone you feel, you are always surrounded by blessings. Gratitude is not just a feeling, it is a weapon. It protects your heart from sadness. It keeps you away from jealousy. It shields you from the lies of shaitan who wants you to focus only on your pain. Gratitude brings light to your soul. It reminds you that even if you have little, you have more than many. And even if you have nothing, you still have Allah. And having Allah means you still have everything. Sometimes, your loneliness is not there to punish you, it's there to purify you, to clean your heart from worldly distractions, to remind you that your value doesn't come from people, it comes from Allah. And when you realize that, your solitude becomes sacred. It becomes your prayer space, your healing space, your growth space. And gratitude is what fills that space with light. Stay grateful in solitude, because every moment you thank Allah is a step closer to Him. And the closer you are to Him, the further you are from sadness. Dear brothers and sisters, life may sometimes feel lonely, but remember, you were never created to walk with the world. You were created to walk with Allah. And when you walk with Him, you will never feel truly alone. Your strength, your peace and your happiness do not come from people, but from the one who shaped your heart and listens to your silent cries. So embrace the quiet moments. Use them to build your iman. Trust Allah deeply and let go of the world's illusions. Your soul wasn't made for this dunya. It was made for something greater. And every step you take toward Allah in solitude is a step toward Jannah, a step toward real joy.